So there's 4 things that you want to do with your show rate sequence that's leading to people booking a call. That is, get them to show up, train people to take action, pre-frame the sale, and then build rapport. All 4 of these are crucial elements that you want to put in place before someone gets on a call, right? So let's go through the first one. Get them to show up. Obviously, that's the most basic one of like, well, if I'm sending reminder sequences, I want them to show up for the call. So how do we do that? Well, firstly, we want to make sure that in the emails and the SMSs or whatever communication you're giving them before the call and on thank you pages, you've got a link for them to add it to the calendar. Don't just say add to calendar, because you want to make it as frictionless as possible for someone to show up for that call. So if you were not already sent the calendar invite to them where they can auto accept it, then make sure you set that system up. And if you haven't got a link in your emails that says add this to my calendar, and then there's one click and it adds it to the calendar, then you're losing out on show rate right now. And then the other part to get them to show up is helping them be confident that they're going to get the outcome. Because if they book in a call, right, and let's say they have to wait 48 hours before they actually speak to you, they might have seen 3 or 4 other different offers in that period of time. They might have gotten 2 other sales calls, right? So when they go through that, then they're like, well, maybe this isn't the best decision for me. I'm not sure if they're going to get me the outcome now. And if we've just sent a generic kind of like, reminder, your appointment is coming up, it's not actually pre-framing the fact that they're going to get the outcome that they clicked on it for, right? With my mentor said to me something that's always held true, right? Is there's something that people want that they don't yet have, and they hope by taking this action, it just might help them get it. So they need to be confident from when they book the call. So your potential customer, they need to be confident when they book the call that still all the way through that process, by the time they get to the call, that you can help them get the outcome. Because if you're not distilling that confidence within them, they're just not going to turn up. They're just going to go, oh, wow, it's probably not the best idea, right? The next one is training people to take action. So how do we do that? Well, firstly, we create micro commitments and record good behavior. So those 2 things together work really well. So what do we mean by micro commitments? It's getting people to take small actions, like add it to your calendar, like reply to this message and let me know what what the biggest thing you want out of the call is, right? You send a conversational SMS there. Just basically getting them to reply and getting them to interact with the content. And that's where sometimes as well you can give them pre-work before the call and say, hey, fill this in, and this is going to give us a better understanding and personalized report of how exactly we can help you, right? So it might be asking them about the goals, scoring themselves on each step of your process of like how much of that have they already got in place, all those kind of things. Getting people to take more action before the call. Even, for example, move it upstream a little bit. Let's say you're working with 8-figure businesses. So what I do is, if I get on that first call and we're like, okay, this potentially could be a good fit, before the second call, I'll look to send them something. And I'll send them something, and then I'll be speaking back and forth with them to say, hey, did you receive it? And I'll send them a gift. And that gift won't just be like, oh, a mug with my face on it, because that's got no relevance to them. It'll be something that we talked about on the call, that maybe I send them a book, right? Maybe I send them a small gift, or just something that aligns with where they want to go. And it's like, hey, I'm always thinking of you. And what that's doing is building rapport and connection in between the calls. So when we get to the next call, it's like, well, if this person gives us this much value up front, what's it going to be like when we start working together? So those micro commitments are really important. So for example, if I'm going to send a gift to them out in the post, I'm asking for their personal address then, which is another micro commitment. It's another step, right? And then there's the theory, not the theory, just the concept of sunk cost bias, once you go further in and once you've taken more actions, it's harder to stop those actions. Okay. So creating those micro commitments are really important, and then rewarding good behavior. So if someone replies to that first message and completes the pre-call work, for example, then you reach out and say, hey, just noted you completed the pre-call work. Congratulations, really looking forward to speaking. Hey, just let me know what is your biggest goal, right? That kind of stuff. Or like we see when people complete the pre-call work, typically they get results faster. So well done for completing that. All those kind of things, we want to be rewarding that good behavior. It might be, hey, you complete that and we send you a gift. It might be a digital gift. It might be a physical gift, whatever the thing is. But you're always guiding that sale forward. Then pre-framing the sale. How do we do that? Well, you pre-frame it with social proof, and then sometimes results in advance. So how can you get someone a win before they even get on the call with you? So some people may be getting on the call with you from, going through a video sales letter. They watch it for 10 minutes and they go, yeah, this seems like something that I want. And then they book in a call. Now, the quality of the people that are booking for those calls, you'll get some that are good, but you get a lot of people who are either not qualified or they're at a point where they just haven't seen enough of your content to be fully convinced on the offer and persuaded around, okay, this is the best thing for me, because they haven't experienced any results in advance. Okay. So what you want to think about is, what is a quick win that I could give them before the call in order to get them the first outcome? Now, this might be something personalized if you're working more on a B2B level and you've got lower call volume. So it might be before the call, like in our space, right? I can go through their site and notice 3, 4, 5 different opportunities that I'm seeing straight away, because I'm doing that prep in advance. So when I get on the call, it's not like, so tell me about what you do. It's like, I've already gone and done the research. I've done the legwork. I've gone on their LinkedIn's. I've gone and checked each individual person who's going to be on the call. I've gone to their website. I've opted in for something on their website as well to see what the follow-up sequence looks like, right? All those things help when we get on the call to build instant and immediate rapport, because then we're speaking about the business as if we're already working together. And that's a big, big difference. But also results in advance. Let's say you sell some kind of weight loss program, right? You might say, hey, by the way, before the call, try this hack or method or whatever for 48 hours. Like it might be, just try drinking more water per day and that'll help you drop your first pound or whatever. And it's like, hey, and then when you get on the call, it's like, how did you get on? And they're like, oh, wow, I already dropped 3 pounds. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. And was that using this? Yes, it was. Right. And then then you can go around the feeling of like, how did it feel when you got that first result? And you're selling around the feeling of that. Would you like more of those feelings? Yes, I would. Okay. So that results in advance can be really important. And then the social proof, like showing all the other people who've already got results, all that before and after, that from where to where. So where were they before and where are those people now? And what you want is, you want social proof from different demographics in different content styles, right? So you might have screenshots, you might have YouTube videos, you might have Trustpilot reviews, you might have screenshots from the Facebook community. Okay, you might have images of direct before and after, depending on what the niche is. If it's weight loss, obviously you have a lot of those kind of things. Even if it's like in the wealth side of things, it might be the bank account before, the bank account after, right? Stripe screenshots, those kind of things. So having that social proof on the page and showing as much as that as possible, and having a social proof wall full of proof, that really helps. And then having a video at the top of that frames out that proof and encourages them to go through those things. And then building the rapport, right? So being conversational before the call, we just spoke about this briefly, is having those conversations with people over SMS beforehand. Notice you booked in the call. Just wonder before we get on the call, so I can help you the most. What are you looking to get out of the call, right? It's not like a really aggressive question or anything like that. Just, I want to make sure we make the best use of the time for both of us. What is the number one thing you want to get out of the call? Okay. And then I ask that kind of thing when we get on the call as well. However, you can ask it in advance, then you can be prepped and ready for exactly what they want out of the call. And you've already built rapport, and they're more likely to turn up because you've had a conversation in advance. And then find out what their goal is. Right? This goes back to that same question. If you're not finding out what they want, that's the whole point of a sales call, right? Because you might as well, if not, do a webinar and try and do a catch-all where you call out everyone's objections and everyone's goals. However, if you've got a one-on-one situation, that conversation needs to be tailored specifically to that person's goals, problems, pains, challenges, desires, right? Hopes, aspirations, all those things. And that's the beauty of having it one-on-one. The problem is most people don't leverage that. They just read a script and it's like, well, I'm going to read the script because that's what I got told to do, right? And then it doesn't work because we're not actually digging into that person's specific pains, that person's specific goals. And then remember, you find out what the goal is, you might be able to send them something to help them get results in advance with that goal. You're not going to help them get the complete solution because that's why they're buying your program. And if they can get that complete solution in 24 hours, then probably they don't need to buy a program in the first place. However, if you can get them that first win, then they're going to be in a lot better spot. So that is the 4 objectives of the show rate sequence that you want to put together.